All right, brethren, thank you. I forgot to do. Testing, testing. Hey, brother, I'm sorry. I'm at it again. Having these audio problems. Trying to fix it. Testing, testing. Okay, I think that's it. Can I be heard? Testing, testing. I'm sorry, brethren. Can you hear me now, Elijah? Testing, testing, testing. If you can hear me, type one. Testing, testing. That should be good. Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Okay, thanks. Thanks, Omian. All right. I don't know where that came from. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, brethren. All right. I'm here. Thank you, Creator. Thank you, Heavenly Father. Thank you for making me well enough so that I can do my videos. This is the only therapeutic. This is the time where I just I really love to get my energies recharged. 1 second. All right. No green tea today, Omi. I got something called Kalundra tea. It's supposed to help you with if you have open wounds. It's supposed to help close it. So we'll see. No green tea or cinnamon tea today, though. Get my mic working here. Okay. Now I'm set. All right. I'm sorry, brethren, for the delay. I was late, and yesterday I was sick, and just now, I think just now I'm beginning to get over it. That time of the season, and so, brethren, thank you for joining me. Welcome to my channel. My name is Shaikwa Ben Yisrael, and I want to give thanks to the Creator for giving me the health for making me well. I was pretty jammed up yesterday. I couldn't do well. I went to the Bible study yesterday, but Tuesday I was pretty messed up. I couldn't do the video. I'm here. Thank you, Creator. Thank you for joining me, brethren. I think that I put together a pretty good presentation. I hope it blesses your soul. I'm going to do something called "Why Deceiving People is Dangerous" at the top of the hour. But till then, if you're new to this channel, this is a channel for brethren who are called faithists. Brethren who are called faithists, meaning these are brethren that can subscribe to the OAHSPE, OAHSPE. People call it the Bible. I'm trying to call it a practical guidebook now because there's more. It's like that gives it more of a specific meaning as to exactly what it is. It's like a guidebook where it's like saying, if you want to be spiritual, follow these tenets. If you want to be spiritual, then consider these things. It's not perfect, but this is the Creator. He claims it as his word. He does not claim the King James Bible as his word. That may come as a shock to a lot of people, but there's a great separation going on right now, and it's a separation of the will in the sense that the people who have always been able to hear the Creator's voice are hearing his voice, and they're turning around and following the Creator's voice. We're in a time right now that is just amazing, amazing, amazing time right now. As anyone who knows, who follows this channel, you know, I've been talking recently about Pluto going back into Aquarius November 19th. And I think that there could be something shaping up for I don't know how to describe it. I don't want to say an explosion, but I know that we are totally unprepared for whatever it is the Creator has planned for us. I went online. Now, let me digress for just a second, okay? Let me digress for just 1 second. I still got a touch of the cold. So just bear with me. I'm gonna do the best I can. Now, in 2023, that's when I first heard of Pluto going into Aquarius. Now, what it means is that Pluto and Aquarius, they both have energies. Aquarius is a house, Pluto is a planet. The different planets, they swing into the houses, they swing out, they swing in, they go out, they stay in. Each time they go out a little less further. And then each time they go in, they stay a little longer. Well, in 2023, an event happened that astrologers and people who follow the stars and planets, they said that an event was going to happen, and it hadn't happened in the past 250 years, and this is going to be the biggest event of them all. A lot of the cosmologians or cosmological watchers, they said that this is an event they've been looking forward to for 15 years. And that's what happened last year. Pluto went to Aquarius. It works like a pendulum. It goes in, it goes back out. And now we're in a time where when it swings back into Aquarius, Pluto, when it goes back into Aquarius on the 19th of this month, or is it November? No, or next month, or tomorrow. When it goes into Aquarius again on the 19th of November, it's going to start a series of events that the Creator says, you, brethren, you're going to feel it and you're going to know it. Now, last year is when it all got started. Pluto went to Aquarius for a little bit, and then it swung back out, went back out into Capricorn. And then later that year, went back into Aquarius until a little bit, and then it swung out, and then it went back in January of this year until September, and then it swung back in. It's called retrograde. It swung back into Capricorn, and on November 19th, it's going to swing out again for the final time and stay in Aquarius for the next 20 years. Now, I went online and I asked it a question, because when Pluto goes into Aquarius, one of the things it's going to do is going to things technologically are going to our society is going. Matter of fact, let me do this. Let me share an email. That's a good way of showing you what's coming to pass. I've been talking about it all the time. Let me share this with you. Let me share you what the brother sent me. Okay. Now, it gives a nice little concise information. Now, Pluto is energy. That's like intensity. Intensity. It adds intensity to the house that it's in. If it enters into Aries, it's going to be an intensity towards war and conflict and chaos. Pluto is also the sign of death and rebirth. The death and rebirth of systems and things. And so when it goes into a particular house, whether it be Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces, depending on what house it goes in, somehow it energizes it and it expands it, and it just makes whatever energy is already there, it just explodes it even more. So I went, it's going to go back. It's already started going into Aquarius. Pluto has already started going into Aquarius, and it's been going in and out for the last couple of years. So I went online, the internet, and asked what have been the biggest technological advancements in the last couple of years, and it says artificial intelligence has been the biggest advancement in the last 3 years. It's exploded. That's because Pluto went to Aquarius. Elijah says that sounds like it's about to happen next year. Yeah, look what the brother sent me in an email about Pluto going. Look at here what he sent me. He says just what you just got finished saying. Look here at the bottom. They said astrologers already feel it brewing. Because what it's going to do is going to signal. See, Aquarius is the water bearer. The water bearer. That's what Elijah is. Water for the world. See, till now, Capricorn is a system of the few. The few, Capricorn is a sign of power, authority. It's the sign of the few, not the many. Aquarius is the sign of the many, not the few. It's water for the world. It's the brotherhood of man. Hey, Mahalia. All right, sister. Thanks for joining us, man. Good to see you. Good to see you, sis. So Aquarius is a sign like, it's the brotherhood of man. It's like if you've ever known an Aquarian, they are real humanitarians. They're the best friends of the whole zodiac you could have, an Aquarius. Their thing is therefore water for the world. See here, it's the sign of the water bearer. Now, when Pluto goes into Aquarius, events are going to be set in place that are going to be good, not just for the few. Because see, Pluto is going to leave Capricorn, and I imagine it means the tearing down of the Capricorn system of elitism, of tyranny, of power to the few, the elite, and change into a kingdom of power to the people. We should see changes in technology. See, like it says here, you should see it on the screen. It says Pluto will ignite a new era of transformation, one that can radically redefine, see, power structures. That's Capricorn. That's where Pluto is in right now. It's in retrograde in Capricorn. See, Capricorn represents power structures, money, finance. By Pluto going into Aquarius, it could blow up the financial system because they sit there and they cut the pie amongst themselves. Usually up in them high offices, this is a bunch of Capricorns sitting up there because they got a gift for work. They got a gift for discipline, authority, planning, financing. Usually, the higher you go in the elevator, that's where their offices are. A goat climbs a mountain, rare air up there. These people are usually in the Hall of Fame, and we're leaving that system now, and it's going to turn more to power to the people. It's a beautiful overlap with the Cosmic Era, which started in the 1840s. The Cosmic Era is basically the kingdom of God, which is the kingdom of people, which is to take, a kingdom where there are no leaders, there's no kings, there's no queens, it's the people governing themselves because of what's organically in them. I don't know how it all plays out, but I'm trying to give you a little heads up to what we're facing, what we're looking at. The world has no clue that the creator he's got. See, right now, the earth is reeling because of the death, the genocide that's going on in the Middle East, the war in the Ukraine, and the general conflict among nations, even with trade. The Far East countries, they're getting together and they're blocking out the dollar, the United States. See, Elijah says, seeing peace, sealing of the cosmic era. Remember, X marked the spot this year. Let me see. I don't know what you mean by X marked the spot. Is that now I vaguely remember something about that. X marking the spot, but I forgot. What does that mean? Like in OAHSPE, Gautama, X is the sign of the creator. Oh, yeah, brother. Good one, Elijah. Brother. Oh, brother, my good old buddy Elijah, man. X marks the spot. Y'all remember that? Do y'all remember what he's talking about there? Let me show you. Oh, that's a beautiful one, brother. Bless you. Thank you for sharing that, brother. I got to share that. Hold on a second. Yes, let's look at X marks the spot. You reminded me. Let's look at that together, man. Let's look at that together. 2017, 2024, X over America. Here it is. This is what the brother was talking about. See, that means something. Y'all know what this is right here? That was the 7-year period from one eclipse to the other. From 20, y'all see that? You can see it on the screen, right? Look at that. See? Or actually, what is this they got here? They got something different here. Something that happened in 2023. That's not the one I wanted. That's not the one I wanted. Let me find the one I wanted. The one I wanted is 2017. Here it is. 2017 to 2024. Wow, man, they just don't want to give it to me. They just don't want to give it to me. Well, that's all right. I'm going to find it. Where is it at? Here it is right here. See this? 2017, 2024. I all but forgot about this, and I was talking all about it when I first found out about Pluto going into Aquarius. See, y'all, I hope y'all can see that. You see that? See, the confluence of events, I got to tell you something. We don't believe in coincidences. All these things are happening around this time. See that? The one line going from left to right, and then the other one going from right to left, forming an X. The first line is 2017. That was the eclipse that happened in 2017, right? This is the path of the eclipse. I think you can see it. It came in from the Pacific Northwest down to the Southeast. Now, the one that happened this year that I was talking all about, April 8th, didn't know what it meant. April 8th, there was another solar eclipse, remember? And it came in from the Northeast and went to the Southwest, forming an X across America. See, now that means something. That means, brethren, that means something. Now, when you consider an X, that means the end of something. Remember, like the brothers got here, X marked the spot. You know, it means the end of something. It means finito, finished, done. Now, I'll even say something else that whether or not it's anointed or not, I can't really say, but I'll share it with you. I'll share it with you. Now, I don't know. Again, keep in mind, I don't know if this is anointed or not. And I've been trying to find it in the Nag Hammadi, and I can't remember where it's at. It talks about in the Nag Hammadi, a woman was going to lead the world into World War III. It was going to be a woman. Now, for some reason, I can't buy it. Even though the Nag Hammadi, it says it. The Dead Sea Scrolls, the Nag Hammadi, said it was going to be a woman to lead the world into World War III. Basically, it says that a woman pictured by Sophia. If you know about the Nag Hammadi, it talks about the account of the heavens that the OAHSPE doesn't really cover. Talks about a fall where Sophia, she had a thought and her thought manifested, and the line of false kings, that's where they came from. And ever since then, she's been minded to rectify her mistake that she brought on the world. And it says in the Nag Hammadi, at some point, she's going to take off her, to paraphrase, she's going to put off her logical civil mind and put on witless wrath and destroy the system of false gods, lords, and angels that her thought that she manifested in the spiritual, and it created a line of fallen gods, lords, and angels. And it says there was going to be a woman to do it. I think it's in the Apocryphon of John in the Nag Hammadi. I could be wrong. Now, for some reason, I could be wrong, but my heart is just keep telling. I don't know. We getting ready to find out Tuesday or next week or whenever they get the votes counted. Now, if Kamala Harris goes in the office, that's going to be pretty coincidental to me. You know, I mean, it's going to be, because even then, I still am inclined not to believe it. And they, you know, prognosticators and astrologers, you know, I don't know how much faith I can place in them. They've been saying that she's going to win and she's going to win, and Trump, his planets are, you know, they're all messed up. And, you know, I just, for some reason, ordinarily, I would count their word as gold, but I'm in more of a wait and see mode now. I think it would just be too incredible if she wins, and then it's going to be hard to deny the prophecy of the Nag Hammadi. It's going to be too hard to deny it. We're already one step from global hostilities. We're just one step away. All somebody's got to do is trigger it. No, Elijah, she's a Libra. That's what I thought. That's what I used to think. Check this out. Let me show you. She's a Libra. She ought to know better than what she's doing, allowing that genocide to go on. Look at this, brother. What is Kamala Harris' zodiac sign? Look at this. Libra. She's a Libra. She's right on the cusp, though. So I can see why that's what I thought. She's right on the cusp. See, and for her to go along with all that killing, and she ought to know better than that as a Libra. A Libra will never stand for that. That all that imbalance and killing and that injustice. That a Libra cannot handle that. That's a Scorpio thing: the killing, the murdering, the tearing apart. So I don't know, man. It's an interesting time that we in right now. It's an interesting time that we are in. And the creator has certainly got something set up, man. I mean, there's too much. I mean, we're in a cosmic era where Pluto has gone into Aquarius, or it will on November 19th. The creator he said that the Thetis, our numbers, were going to grow year after year. What else did he say? He said that, and also I was given some wisdom on something. A verse. There's a verse that I've been sharing with you, brethren, about how rogues. Remember where we read in the room, my room? It said where rogues were going to inherit our great offices. Rogues. Let me do something first here. And the wisdom that I got to that was that, because I was asking, well, how long? How long are rogues going to inherit these offices? And the answer I got was until there are no more elections, until there are no more leaders. Now, I don't know. I hope it wasn't my own mind. It could have been. I hope not. But that was the answer I was given. Until there are no more leaders. And that's what makes me think that when Aquarius goes into Pluto, there could be some type of tearing down of the system. Pluto is death and rebirth. Just keep that in mind. I'm sorry harping on it, brethren. I think I I believe that the creator has given it to me to say. I know I probably sound kooky, but there's times when you got to believe that, the creator, he works through inspiration. And it's up to us to learn how to listen. We got to train that part up about ourselves where we learn how to hear his voice. We got to learn I believe that's what we're just, you know, just like it says in the Bible, Christ in you, the hope of glory. That should say the creator in you, the hope of glory. The creator in you. I don't know, the creator in us, faithist, learning to hear the voice of the creator. See, and then that way we govern ourselves, man. We can live amongst ourselves. All I'm trying to say is that we're on the precipice of something. That's all I'm trying to share with you, brethren. We are on the precipice of something. The planets, I don't think the planets lie. They have their own vibration on them, you know. I think the creator is showing us something. There's been too much going on. See, Elijah says X means the end. See there? X means the end of corruption. Yep. The start of peace and enlightenment. Yep. Of Gautama and one world in OAHSPE. I'm with you, brother. Brother, I am with you. I'm telling you, I'm with you, man. I don't see no other reason. I mean, me talking like this, I be talking like this and I still don't trust myself. I still don't trust myself when I be saying these things, man. You know? I I just don't get it, man. You know, I mean, it's heavy on my mind, and I be saying these things. Yeah, I just it seemed like Creator He just put it on my mind so strongly, and then I share it. I don't know. We shall see. Okay, now um, I'm gonna go to my room. Here's my mom's food ministry, and I'm trying to target orphans and elderly and disabled, or maybe you know somebody that needs to be ministered to. And you can certainly, I can be contacted. This is the kingdom of God right here. That's what our kingdom is going to be. We're going to deal with each other, you know? We are going to deal with each other, man, and ain't nobody going without nothing, you know? Ain't nobody going without nothing. See, the Creator, He going to teach us a lesson. He going to teach us a lesson, man, you know? Let Aquarius come, please. Let diseases be healed, you know. Let the brotherhood of man, let us lay down the weapons. Let us be a kingdom, a brotherhood of men and women. Let Aquarius come, man. An age of Aquarius. Bring it quickly, you know. Bring it quickly, Creator. Okay, here's my room. And my brother Omi, and he's got a room. Brother, he just put out another video too, man. Let me get that video he just put out. I haven't had a chance to check it out yet. I want to turn y'all on to it in case y'all want to go see it. I'm a big fan of the brothers. You know, he talk real. His videos they real easy to understand. You know, the brother he's a Gemini. Now this is his video that he just put up. So he's been talking about the Ifa religion. And this is the second video that he's put up. So I'm just learning. It's now the brother from Nigeria, and I guess now I've heard stories of the things the witchcraft they believe in. I remember I moved to some place, and when I used to live in a place called Fremont, California, and the dude from Nigeria moved in, and he from where did he from I forget which one what where he moved to Africa, but he was telling me about the witchcraft. And he was like, man, it's real. It's real. He was talking to me about, this one witch doctor and, put a curse on some dude. He got picked up and thrown into the woods. And one witch doctor, or I don't know if it was a witch doctor, or he stopped the airplane in midair when he found out that there was a plan to kill him. He was a dignitary. I mean, you brethren already know, you brethren probably know more than I do about these things, but it's real. So here's the brothers' rooms. The OAHSPE. Oh, wait a minute. That's my room. Let me get his rules. Here's one right here. And then his other room. It's not this one, but let me get it. If anyone is new and you're watching the video, you could join one of these two rooms, and then you could expose yourself to, where we post verses out of the OAHSPE, things I think which are fun to read and bless brethren's soul. So they go out in these rooms. These are his rooms, and then here's my room. So if anyone is new and you're looking, you just heard about the OAHSPE. And you know what? Real quick, that reminds me of a little story. I went to the VA the other day, and bless my soul, I went, they come, they pick me up, they transport me, And so I got into the van. Oh, I forgot to share the tab. Here's my room. Okay, now I got into the van, and it was a white guy, and he was playing black gospel music. And I was like, that's my signal. That's my signal. If ever there was a signal, the Creator is giving me a signal. So I said, when he got in the van after he strapped me in and everything, and we started talking. I said, "So you're a Christian?" And he said, "Nope." He said, "If anything, I go to a Catholic church with my mom, and He said, "I said, so you're Catholic?" He said, "Nope." I said, "What are you?" He said, "I'm spiritual." And that was my ticket right there, man. And I had one of the best rides talking to him. He was a Taurus, and that guy sat and listened, and I was sharing with them about the difference between being spiritual and religious, and it was right up his alley, man. The guy started smiling, and he understood what I was saying, and he was the brother was just he was just showing that I was blessing his soul, man, you know. And I said, "Look, man," I said, "you're just an unplugged computer right now, you know. You just need to be plugged in, brother." So I plugged him into the guidebook, you know, plugged him in. He was really just, I mean, it was obvious why he got set up with me. It was obvious, because my mind is made up to hold my peace. My mind is made up. Hey man, I'm just hold my peace because the world can't hear us. And then if they keep rejecting me, they're gonna make me think I'm kooky. They're gonna make me think I'm the one who's crazy. And I know I'm not the one. And then I got a ride home, and it was a Libra, and he nearly got me into the flesh, man. He almost got me into the flesh because he started talking to me about God, right? And then I said, "So you're a Christian, right?" And he said, "Yeah." I said, "Who do you pray to?" He said, "Jesus Christ." I said, "You know the difference between a God and a creator?" And he said, "No, they're both the same." And for the rest of that trip, he would not shut his mouth, man. Just like a Libra that I can't stand. He was wise in his own conceit. And the thing about it, the creator made me think to myself, "Hey, Yaiquab, you know what? That's you when you were a Hebrew Israelite. That guy there, he's you. That's you. I'm showing you who you were. I'm showing you yourself. That was you. You see how odious you were to me, and I didn't give up on you. That's you. The way you feel now, I could have felt that way about you, but I didn't. So you have mercy on him like I had on you." And I said, "Okay, that's right." And so I just let him go on. He should have been asked. I made a couple of statements to where I said, "When did Christianity begin?" He said, "I don't know." I said, "Was there Christians before Jesus Christ?" He said, "I don't know." I said, "Who was instrumental in bringing Christianity to the Western Hemisphere?" He said, "I don't know." And so what I did is I let my peace return unto me, right? Because I was just throwing out bait. I was trying to engage him. Like, you're supposed to say, "I don't know. Why don't you tell me?" And instead of asking me, he just kept on talking and defending Christianity, man. You know? And then that's when the creator spoke to me. And then I said, "Okay, okay. Yeah, there's no reason for getting all in the flesh and angry because he didn't have the sense to ask me why I believe what I believe. He just wanted to talk." And the creator showed me this is why you shouldn't feel this way towards people. Because, see, you were the very thing that you hated. See? So don't look down on him. Don't worry about him. I got him. I got him. You know, I'm just showing you you. See, now when you think that way, then you learn to just put your head down. You know, just put your head down, man, and stop getting all into the flesh. Learn to have mercy. Learn to, just pull for the brother, pull for him, root for him that he come up out of that mind, because he don't know, he's not in his right mind. When you start talking like, and you don't ask questions. Oh, you're so in the grip of the beast. You're so in the grip of the beast, man. You don't even know you're in the grip of the beast. See? So I had a beautiful day overall. I got taught a lesson, and I talked to a brother who was plumb for the picking. He was plumb for the picking, man. And the brother start, you make a Tara smile. You are doing something. Because them people, they got a real tight lid on their emotions. And he just man, he was shaking his head and smiling and just listening, and you know and you know told him where my channel was. If he ever wanted to contact me, he went and got on his phone and subscribed, and it was a real beautiful thing altogether, man. And the hospital I went to, they said, yeah, we can close the wound. Yeah, we can close that. We're gonna put a wound back on your feet. And I said, you mean to tell me the place I've been going for 4 years and they haven't closed this wound? And you sitting up here telling me, yeah, like it ain't nothing. And I've been going here 5 years, and you're gonna sit up there and tell me, oh, like it ain't nothing? So it was a mixed bag. I could have gotten the flesh in and got mad, and it just seemed like the creator is showing me, like, man, it ain't worth it. It just ain't. It just, what good is that body anyway, Yaquab? I gave it to you only for a while. You know, I'm gonna take it from you. I gave it to you so that you can learn from it, and you can learn. You can work on you can elevate in your spirit. You know good and well I ain't giving it to you forever. Why do you think like that? Why don't you know that I got a whole way, way, way better reality for you? Why do you want to hold on? Why do people want to hold on to where you let it vex you so much? And you know about me. You know my word. You know what I said. Why do you, I can understand you're gonna be troubled a little bit, and you're gonna have good days and bad days, but you know good and well that at some point, that's not my final. You gotta let go of that body, you know. So I learned a lot, man, and if you just listen, then the creator, he speaks to you too. If you just listen, learn how to listen, man. Here's some verses real quick. Now I'm going to do a PowerPoint presentation on why deceiving people is wrong. Why deceiving people is wrong. So let me go through a couple of verses real quick, and let me see. I'm going to show you a couple. Some I might read. You can stop the screen. Let me go back up and read this. It says, the self-God says, I will make a strong government. Okay, now I was jumping in the middle here. And I think what I wanted to show, this whole verse right here, you can read it, where the creator is basically saying, man, he does all these works. And then he says he's great. And then I and then I show him a little glimpse, and his whole great inventions and everything fall apart. You see, it's like, man, his ego, his mind, it's an incredible thing, man. That driver, he was after after I was asking him those questions, and he said, no. I said, do you know? He said, no. I said, do you know this? He said, no. I said, do you know that? He said, no. And then I held my peace, expecting him to say, why don't you tell me? And he went right back into talking about the beast. You see? He went right back into talking about the hold that the beast had on him. He it's like and then when I finally asked him, do you want to know why I asked you what I asked you? And then this was at the very end when he was dropping me off. He said, no, I'm fine. I'm fine. And I said, hey man, that's the best I can do. You know, I just held my peace and I left. I got out of the van and went up the street. You know. Now here's a verse that says, behold the wisdom of Jehovah in placing far apart the souls of men, for all things abiding near each other equalize themselves, meaning puts off the other. It says, even as there is glory in the new birth, so is there glory in death. As there is sorrow in death, so there's their joy in resurrection. The time is now come when those whom you see, you shall not see for a long season, but you shall rejoice in this hour of parting, for they rise as brides and bridegrooms to Jehovah. Now, this was the account of a god. Now, I forget, it's in Sedantes, and it was an account, and there was a parting that was going on. And so I wanted to post this because it says that, it's in our reality, you part from your loved ones, but uh, number one, you're going to see them again. And number two, for the faithless, the just like there's sorrow and death, there's glory and resurrection. Glory and resurrection. We should not be avoiding. We should not be avoiding. We should look. We should be looking forward to being born in the Spirit. So, real quick, here's another verse here. I won't read it. You can read it. Okay. It's about time for the reading of the word. Here it says, my joy is in birth and growing up of souls. This is Father speaking, Creator speaking. He said, in the joy of their joys and in the proclaiming of their adoration for my boundless universe. He says, I give the tear of grief, sorrow, and pity, but it is flowing forth. I come with holier light and power to stir up the souls of my people, where they shall learn to speak to their Father, who hears and is attentive and full of love. It's like the Creator said, I may steal your gold, but I'll bring you back some diamond rings. How do you like that? How do you like that? Here it says, God said, in all these matters, whichever man or woman has put away self-desires for self's sake, serving the Father by laboring for others, is on the road to wisdom. Is on the road to wisdom. And if the records show a sufficient time for growth in such a man or woman through which these virtues become organic, then choose that person for Moab. For Moab shall be composed of such. And I forget what Moab is. I think it's a plateau, heavenly plateau. But the part I wanted to emphasize here is when these virtues become organic. See, what that means, organic is like fixed. It's like settled. It's like concrete in your soul. Virtues, when you get to that point, that's what we should be working on. See, making your virtues organic, man. It's in your soul. It's fixed. It's in there. It's constitutional within you. That's our mission. See, making our virtues become organic. See, that's what we're called to do. A lot of times it ain't pleasant. See, it's just like what the Creator said. He said, well, we just got finished reading up here. He says, I give the tear of grief, sorrow, and pity. See? Hard times, tough times, man. He said, but I come with the holier light and power to stir up souls of my people. So he gives you one thing on one hand, but then he more than offsets it on the other. See? Creator. So time for the reading of the word. So let me just go through a couple of more of hey, Nazarene, brother. All right, brother. Thanks for joining us, man. Good to see you, brother. I'm just going through the verses real quick, so I can get to the reading of the word. About time for the reading of the word. Now, here's something from AI. I don't post in the other rooms AI. I will in my room, but I won't post AI in the other rooms. Responses from AI in the other room. In my room, I will. Oh, sorry, brother. Sorry about that. Anyway, here, real quick, I asked AI, can you change your mind easily in the spiritual realm? And I already knew what the answer was, but I asked it anyway. And so you can read the answer here. And basically, it's saying that let me see. Why did I post this? It didn't really okay. In the OAHSPE, and the creator, he says that the reason why it's easier now than there is because it goes along with that verse I love to share with y'all about it's easier to basically it's easier to change your mind here in this reality than when you cross over. That's why he says in that verse that I've been sharing that it could take you 100, it could take you, let's put it this way, many years before you break out of your mind. It could take you many years before you break out. That's the danger of the beast kingdom. That driver, he don't realize it could take him 10 or 100 or more years before he breaks out of his mind. See, I even can hope that I'm misunderstanding that verse where the creator, he says that, remember, he says you'll be a dupe for a long season before you realize that you have been taken captive by an unscrupulous master. That's what the guidebook says. Creator, he warning you, man. He warning you. If you can't cross over now, when you got money, which is your body, it's going to be harder in the spiritual realm to change your mind. That mind, you're going to be locked into your mind. You'll be locked into the beast kingdom. That's the way that's my highest light of understanding. The OAHSPE, brethren, don't look down on your election, man. You know good and well the creator is going to show you. He make you walk by faith first, and then he show you second, and then you praise him third after that. See, don't look down on thinking that you missing the party and ain't no consequences. Don't think that way, man. Let none of us start thinking like that. Okay, that's the same thing I think I posted there. So time for the reading of the word. Nose running all over the place. Oh man. Oh boy. Okay, so shoot. All right. Time for the reading of the word. Man, ears are all feel like I'm talking inside of my brain. Y'all know that feeling? All right, so let's go ahead and okay, go for the let's do the reading. Man. Okay. All right, 1 second. Let's let me bring it up. Okay, let's see what we got here. Now, there we go. Now let's bring up the right study. Here it is. All right. Thank you, creator. Now, title of the video is called The Danger of Deception. And I think that each of us, we can imagine right off the bat why it's dangerous to be deceived. And but I hope in this study that it might that I might bring out some things maybe you haven't considered before. I hope it makes us grateful that we can appreciate that deception is real. Let me bring it up on my screen. I lost it. So one of the purposes of the PowerPoint is just to get, hopefully, I can say something to help us to appreciate our situation. We live in a reality right now where spiritual things, Creator, he ain't no big deal, who cares? Um, you know, I've said I believe, so I'm okay, and we know we're in a situation where the beast kingdom, it relies on deception. It relies on deception. That's the strength of the beast kingdom. And we always got to learn, mankind, it seemed like we always got to learn when it's too late, man. We always got to learn when it is too late. Okay, now this powerful created blessed reading of this word. This is called the danger of deception. Now it says the Creator has stated that men are here to learn. In the book of Jehovah, he says, I gave a corporal body to man so that he could learn corporal things. But I made death so that he could rise in spirit as an angel and inhabit my Ethereal worlds. Now, in the corporal reality, it is easy to lose track of this purpose that the Creator has for his children. That is why deception is a big part of our reality. The beast kingdom is deception. And this type of deception can result to our detriment exponentially in the spiritual realm. There are no concerns for the consequences in the current reality for the deception that this reality is currently under. That's what people believe. There are no consequences. The darkness has gotten to a point where, the Creator, he's very inconsequential. Everybody knows who he is. He's old news. They got him figured out, and he's easily taken advantage of, and he loves his children, and they can get away with anything. And people don't realize, you just don't get it, man. You don't realize what you're doing, and you don't appreciate the deception that's in the world. A picture of deception. A picture of deception. We're given a picture of deception. I forget what book this is that I got this out of. It says, now in that same time, the beast, which is the self, rose up before man and spoke to him, saying, possess whatever you will, for all things are yours and are good for you. Man obeyed the beast, and war came into the world. This was the fourth era. Now, the consequences of listening to the beast, which was the self at this period of time, the self. I think it's still the same way today, but it's like the beast has expanded to organizations in the world today because the beast is religion. But there's the tetracts that all men are under, evil inspirations. So we also see now the deception, now the consequences. It says man became sick at heart. When you're under deception, you are sick at heart. You come, it says man became sick at heart, and he called out to the beast, saying, you said possess. See, he's confused now. You said, possess all things for yourself, for they are good for you. Now behold, war and death have encompassed me on all sides. I pray, therefore, teach me peace. It says the lesson here is, in this example, is self-examination. For us, hey Snap. All right, good to see you, sis. We got a big full house tonight now. Good to see you, sis. Thank you for coming in. Thanks for checking in. So, if we can learn something, the lesson is self-examination. Self-examination, because the subtlety of the beast is real. So he deceived man, war came into the world, man became sick at heart. Deception. One picture of deception. Deception is defined as falsehood, dishonesty, duplicity, self-deception. The OAHSPE emphasizes that the will of the Creator is not for man to be forever led. And it says the OAHSPE Practical Guidebook states, for the will of the Creator is not for man to be forever led, but for man to ultimately have the light of practicing good works organically. Again, that organically, it means that you don't need nobody to teach you. You know, it's a natural part of you. It's constitutional now. It's fixed within you. It's in your soul. It's like concrete. You do it naturally. That's the will of the Creator towards you. And to do it from infancy up. It says the operative word here is organically, meaning fixed or settled in a person's soul or spirit. Meaning, instead of being told what to do, we learn what to do naturally, meaning that if deception sets into our spirit, it can become organic or fixed as well. That's what we see in the world. Yeah, I'm feeling a little better. I was knocked out Tuesday. I couldn't go. Thanks for the concern, Ace and F. So, see, deception, it cuts both ways. We look at a world, see, if you come under deception, it can become organic in you too. Like that driver I was talking about. I asked him questions. I said, when did Christianity begin? Was there any Christians before Jesus Christ? Do you know who was instrumental in bringing Christianity to the Western Hemisphere? And he just said no to everything, no to everything. And yet he still wanted to teach me, deception, man. And it's organic in you in the sense that it's fixed. It's fixed. See, deception, it can be organic in the sense, so can righteousness though. But the ability to transform is the question in this reality, man. Because I think one thing he did ask me is, what happens after I die? Because I told him, I said, I know, do you know, I was trying to entice him. And he said, okay, tell me, what happens after I die? And I said, man, if you are under the beast kingdom, do you know that you're going to carry that mind with you? You're going to carry that spirit with you, man. And it should make sense. I ain't saying nothing really profound here. When you leave this reality, man, the mind you leave with, you're going to take with you. See, the beast kingdom told his followers that all of this is for this reality. But when you cross over, see, then everything is changed. Everything is new, Everything's all right, brother. All that's in the past now. Now you home free, It's nothing but blue skies and rainbows from here on out, And that's what the beast tells his people. So that you come along as a faithist and you're blocked out. I got another slide here that addresses what I'm talking about right now, how the beast, he front runs his people. He front runs them, meaning he prepares them for when they deal with you, a faithist, You're gonna see. I'm gonna get to it. Watch. So anyway, here is saying that it's the purpose, the creator for man is to not see, to learn what righteousness is, learn what it is, practice it, and make it become natural in you, organic, so that nobody can come along and make suggestions and deceive you, lead you along. See, make you subject to deception. That's what we here for, you know, to learn righteousness, to learn how to do it, and then to practice it. You know what I mean? And then the creator, we're affixing it into our spirit. It's becoming natural in our spirit. We're affixing it, our reality, what we're going through now, the experiences, the lessons, it's getting down into our spirit, why we shouldn't do evil, we tasted of it. It ain't no good. We don't want it. You know what I mean? The earth is not learning these lessons. Creator he don't want us, somebody always having to tell us what to do. He wants us to be able to know what to do. See? Forms of deception, believing one's own falsehoods, misleading, or false spiritual guidance, spreading false doctrines, concealing their intentions. Those are forms of deception. It says, and the consequences. Let's see if I can make the screen bigger. Spiritual darkness, separation from divine light. Spiritual darkness, separation from divine light, confusion, mental and emotional, turmoil, chaos, social and moral disorder. And, we live in a reality. The world says, hey, man, look, it's all right with me. I can't feel nothing now. I don't see what you're talking about. Everything's all right with me. I'm the one with the 6-figure income. Look at you. You don't have anything. There's no concern for the consequence. Faith is they know these things. The spiritual darkness, separation from divine light, confusion, mental and emotional, turmoil, chaos, social and moral disorder. That's why we in the situation we in the world today, because we under agey. We in a time of agey right now. That spiritual darkness, I gotta say it again, man. I was talking to that guy, and a normal person would say, "Well, hey, no, I don't know when Christianity started. When did it start? Who is Constantine? What was the Nicene Council? Okay, what does that book you got there say about what happened with that? You know, Christianity, how we got it. What does it say, so I can decide for myself? He don't. He can't. He don't care. He don't. He can't. He don't care. He don't. You know, the world we live in, they don't see. They look at a person like me, and they look down on me. They look down on us. If I had a suit and tie, he would probably look at me like, okay, he's intellectual. That guy probably been to university, real smart, you know, uh, I better listen to what he says. You see how's that's the world. See, man, look at on the outward creator. He look at the inside. That part of the Bible is true. And it's to the detriment of the world, to their detriment, man. That's why I appreciate that driver, the first one that, man, he sat and listened. And he was a white guy listening to Negro gospel music. And that was my ticket to ride right there when I got in. And he was just a machine ready to be plugged in. That's all he was. He was ready to be plugged in, man. It was a beautiful experience to talk to a brother or sister who's ready to be plugged in. It's a beautiful thing. Causes of deception: pride, ego driven arrogance, fear, insecurity, and doubt, ignorance and lack of knowledge, malice, intentional harm. Now, here's a verse in the Bible where it says, "Take us, the foxes, the little foxes that spoil the vines, for our vines have tender grapes." Now, it says the verse cautions against allowing seemingly insignificant temptations, and that should be or distractions. Let me read it again. It says the verse cautions against allowing seemingly insignificant temptations or distractions, which are little foxes, to undermine spiritual growth, faith, or relationships. Vines, now I messed this up. I meant to put the symbol of closed parentheses. Let me fix that right away. Vines represent relationships, spiritual faith, or did I say that right? Little foxes undermine spiritual growth, faith, or vines, that should be vines, which represent relationships, especially when they are vulnerable, tender grapes. So, say, like, you're beginning in the faith and you don't pay attention to the, let's say, the little things of the faith. Well, I don't know if that's a good word, but maybe the subtleties of the faith, the little foxes are, and even when you're not so tender in the faith, it seems like just saying the things that you feel are inconsequential, you don't pay attention, the discerning, the judging yourself, the things the OAHSPE be saying, do this, do that, when you wake up in the morning, ask the Creator for instructions and enlightenment, when you go to bed, examine yourself, someone may say, oh man, those are little things, they don't really mean much, but these are like little foxes which could weaken you. It could be detrimental to you, is what the verse is saying here. The little things that you don't think really need any paying attention to are the things more likely to spoil you, your relationship with the Creator. The little foxes, the little things, especially when they are vulnerable. The relationships, when you're new, maybe you don't know a lot. Tender grapes. OAHSPE Practical Guidebook is a template. Definition of a template is a shaped piece of metal, wood, card, plastic, or other material used as a pattern for processes such as painting, cutting out, shaping, or drilling. So the OAHSPE it calls itself a guidebook. It's like it puts up guardrails. It's a guidebook for the spiritual. If you're going to be spiritual, here is a good guide for you. Gives you a template so that when you examine yourself, when you examine yourself and you place yourself, if you're within the template or you're outside of the template, then we can know um, we can know whether or not we in the will of the creator. He gives us a practical guidebook so that we can shape ourselves. We can shape ourselves. And that's the best defense. That's our defense against deception. Because the template is what is framing us, is shaping us. So we get someone, he comes along and like I'm trying to think of an example of the one of the uh how the OAHSPE gives a guideline. One of the more important ones is certainly deity worship. Deity worship, idolatry. That's probably the biggest one. Probably the biggest one where someone wants me to subscribe to a, you know what I mean, where it's a deity. I mean, most 90, 99, 100% faithists, they know better than that because the OAHSPE is making it clear that that's not, it ain't part of his template. A guidebook. We need a guidebook, man, so that we can set up boundaries so that we can, when deception comes along, we can know it. We might not catch everything, but we should be able to recover from major uh, deception. We should be able to know that major deception, major deception. Okay. Proverbs 8:13, it says, the fear of the Lord is to hate evil, pride, and arrogancy, and the evil way. And the froward mouth do I hate. Now, I just did a video on vulgarity, and this came to my mind doing this study. A froward mouth is also a mouth speaking lies and hypocrisy, it says in the New Testament. Froward. Evil, pride, and arrogancy, and the evil way. Now, that should be the creator. That this verse here, it does harmonize with the OAHSPE. That does harmonize. Throw the word hate out. Well, the Tetracts, I think the creator, even in the OAHSPE, he says that he hates, or he calls it his enemy, or the Tetracts are the enemy of the creator. And these are certainly Tetracts right here. Hate, evil, pride, and arrogancy. They serve to deceive, to get you to do your own will. The froward mouth. That's where deception comes from. Out of the heart of man, the mouth speaks. Isn't that what it says? What a man's heart, or what does it say? It says something like, as a man speaketh, or out of his, as some about his, as he speaks, so is he, or his heart, or something. From what the inside is, it comes out of his mouth. Consequence of deception. I don't have the book here. I forgot to put the book. Oh, it says, and this is an account where he was speaking to, Jehovah was speaking, or a God was speaking to someone. And he said, yet because of such worship, this you shall also prove, that whoever of the angels was great, or whatever God was well known, that you set your soul to love. Behold, familiar, this goes along with being deceived. And when you were born in spirit, Creator is telling us I mean, you all know this. We all know this. We've seen this a billion times. Creator said, behold, the various spirits will come to you to deceive you, professing to be that ancient or that God. And if you believe them, then this too you shall prove when you are dead, your soul risen from the dead. Behold, some deceiving spirit will come to use you, nor shall you discover for a long season that you have been the dupe and slave of an unscrupulous master. Okay, so yeah, I was talking about this earlier. This is a great consequence of deception. And it could take hundreds of years before a mortal breaks out of that deception. It could be 10 or 100 years before a mortal can break out of their mind. They cross over, go into the spiritual. All you know is what you know. And if all you know is what the beast has taught you, then you can't know about higher realms. You just can't. And the beast that deceived you has to be the one to turn you around. And the OAHSPE says that could be years and years, it could hundreds of years. Imagine that, man. See, we don't know these things now. We don't know exactly how this works out. But one message that should be clear: when you're deceived, man, you might not pay for it in this reality, but in the spiritual, that's when these things manifest. That's when the real life begins. The Creator said the real life begins in the spirit, man. Real life begins in the spirit. An objective of the purity of an objective is the purity of the conscience. An objective is the purity of the conscience, because deception, to engage in it, to be taken captive by it, more likely because your conscience is suffered, is your conscience is like it says in the Bible, that some people, their conscience has been seared with a hot iron. You can't feel it no more. You can't hear it no more. You can't listen to it no more. If it's seared over, the purity, when the sensitive, man, the sensitivity, of the conscience, when it's darkened, it says, consider now, O brothers, when the conscience of man burns inward, there is still slumbering in his soul. When the conscience of man when there's a let's say a vibration in your soul, it's like an alarm. It's like a alarm to conscience. It says, when the conscience of man burns inward, there's still darkness slumbering in their soul. If it's something within you, it's vexing you, it's Creator bringing something to your mind. It's like that's your conscience burning. You are getting, you know what I mean? I don't have to digress. It's a way that the inspiration is trying to get your attention. If your conscience is bothering you, then it's trying to give you a message. It says, but the Ethereal lights, it says when the conscience of man burns inward, there is still darkness slumbering in his soul. The Ethereal lights will burn him. He whose conscience no longer burns inward becomes himself a brilliant flame of light. Through him, Jehovah speaks. So when you are awake to the leanings of your conscience, and that's also going to be the defense against deception too, because somebody comes along and something maybe don't sound right. More likely it's because it is not right. That's like the conscience inspiration. You could say same thing, is a defense. if we, and that's where, like examination, you examine yourself a lot, you judge yourself a lot. And so you're sensitive to things that are uh, foreign to the will of the creator, and you keep that up, you practice it, and it stays sensitive, your conscience. And so, deception has a harder time entering in and gaining a foothold. A defense mechanism for the faithless. Okay, I was just trying to make that point. The conscience defense mechanism. In the book of Tay's prayer, it says, "It is well that you be believing toward men and angels, but it is better to develop yourself. You desire to know the mysteries of my unseen worlds and the past histories of the earth. Behold, I will give you a new sense, which will fulfill your soul's desire, and with it you shall read the books of the libraries of heaven." And I'm trying to emphasize the new sense. The new sense. It's like vibration, inspiration, that faith is that the creator says he's going to give to us. It's like a new sensitivity to be able, it's like a defense mechanism to protect us from the deception of the beast kingdom. It's very hard, man, to make a case against the practical guidebook. That's the big problem in the world today. People, religions, they, you talk to them, they just cannot make a case against the OAHSPE practical guidebook. I mean, I don't know, maybe I could be wrong. I just think that from my experience, it's just impossible to penetrate the logic of the creator. It's impossible to penetrate the logic that, at least in my own little reality, dealing with people who are under the beast kingdom, the deception of the beast kingdom. It's like the creator, the defense mechanism, this new sense. I attribute it to what he says here. He's given us a new sense to walk away from the beast kingdom and its deception. It ain't easy. That's why I like to share those stories of, like, what I did today, the driver and the grip that the beast has on him, the deception that the beast has on him. And that's in the world. That grip, people can't break that. And the Bible, so far as Christianity is concerned, it's done an expert job, of maintaining that grip on its subjects, on its believers. The Creator said, "I'll give you a new sense, which shall fulfill your soul's desire. And with it, you shall read the books of the libraries of heaven." And personally, that new sense, it was able to break me out of the beast kingdom. It's got to be something outside of yourself that break you out of that grip. You got to have a new sense given to you. And so that's why I love that verse so much. He said, "I will give you a new sense and it'll fulfill you." You read it, and I think that's why you brethren subscribe to it. It fulfill you. It answer your questions, even questions you don't have. So in conclusion, in my humble opinion, deception is far and away the greatest tool that the false gods have over mortals. Pride of man is the ultimate breeding ground for deception to enter in. We have seen in this study that there are many ways for deception to enter into man's spirit. The template we have been given by the OAHSPE Practical Guidebook establishes spiritual boundaries and safeguards against the deception of the present reality. Empirically speaking, the spirit that walks in sincerity and truth, seeking the Creator, has for a foundation a solid protection one which to build for a defense against the deception of the present reality. Okay, now here's a verse I was referring to earlier that it documents the grip that the beast has on its believers. This is a real good example right here. Now, I wanted to just share specifically verse 2, where it says, having their conscience seared with a hot iron, speaking lies and hypocrisy, having their conscience seared with a hot iron. A person sharing the deception and a person receiving the deception both have seared their conscience with a hot iron. One is engaging in it consciously, and the other one is oblivious to the fact that he's being deceived because his conscience ain't setting off red alarms. It ain't setting off lights in them because the self-judgment, the examination, it hasn't been there. And so the if the conscience is unable, if it's desensitized, then then any type of deception is liable to come and to take root. It can come in and take up root, is what this is saying here. Now, this is in the Bible. Now, when I was reading this, I noticed another thing. It's yet another verse where it is absolutely prepared. The beast is preparing his people not to deal with the faithists. It seems like he knew that the guidebook was going to come and he was going to front run it, meaning he was going to present arguments to help keep people away from the guidebook. Since way back then, it's like the beast gave instructions to stop people from opening their ears to the guidebook that they must have known was going to come, that exposes the King James Bible, the Christian Bible. And so they front, in order to try to protect against their people coming into the knowledge of the guidebook, this was written. It says, now the Spirit speaks expressly in the latter times. See what it says? It says it's equating those who come into the OAHSPE guidebook, it's equating them with those who shall depart from the faith. In a sense, it's true because they departing from the beast kingdom faith. At least faithists are. They're so that part is true. They they are departing from that faith. And then he goes on, he says, giving heed, he calls faithism, he calls it a seducing spirit and a doctrine of devils. So now the Christian, he reads this, the OAHSPE comes along, and just like that driver, he wouldn't, man, no, there is no form of argument that can reach that driver that took me to the VA and I got in a discussion with. There ain't nothing that can, only the creator's got to do it. He's been immunized by verses like this. The Spirit speaketh expressly that in the latter times some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils. And then verse 3, it says, forbidding to marry and commanding to abstain from meats. See, that's a big one right there, because the OAHSPE does command faithists to abstain from meats. And here he's telling his people that when these people come along, you know to run, get away from them. See how the Bible is expertly prepared as people to be deceived. See, he said, forbidding to marry, commanding to abstain from meats, which he says, which God hath created to be received with thanks. Yeah, his God, Luamong, you know. Now, Luamong hasn't created meats, but he's arguing for Luamong. Paul, in this deception, he says, which God hath created to be received with thanksgiving in them which believe and know the truth. So he equates his lies with the truth. For every creature of God is good, nothing to be refused if it be received with thanksgiving. So that sounds good to people. See, that's what you brethren are up against. I didn't expect to expound on this. I just wanted to point out the part about searing your conscience, verse 2, with a hot iron. But in addition to reading this, I wanted to bring out that this is how mortals and the majority of the world. Remember, we showed in a couple of videos the ratio of faiths to the world. 1 for every 44. One faithist for every 40, and it was worse in times past. It was 1 for 1,000 at one point. See, this is what you brethren are up against, man. This is the type of deception. See, I'm telling you, man, only the creator can do it, man. Because they're indoctrinated. They read this. Look what they call us, seducing spirits. They say that we're under doctrines of devils. They say we speak lies and hypocrisy. He says that abstaining of meats is evil, or he says he said that, and actually he's saying this is part of the doctrine of devils, where you talk about abstaining from meats. So Christians have been expertly indoctrinated they've been immunized to not be able to come under the OAHSPE. It takes an act of the creator. He's got to do it, man. This is the indoctrination that they're under. Anyway, I probably expounded on that a little bit too much, but I wanted to bring it out. Overcoming the deception is to seek truth, pursue divine wisdom. Discernment develops spiritual intuition. Discernment develops spiritual intuition, humility, recognize limitations, faith, and trust. And divine guidance is how we overcome the deception. I will point out, when you get on that, when that mind enters you, like what Cherie said that one time, she said she looked at the creation. She said, that's the God I want to worship. That's about as pure as you can get. You're pointing right at the creator. She said she looked at the planet, the stars, the planets, and the constellations, and she said, that is the God I want to worship. That sounds like the prayer of a child right there, which is as close to purity as you can get. Sincerity and truth, I like to say all the time, I think that's the surest path to finding attaining to the voice of the creator. But we live in a reality, none of that's really important in this reality, and it's kind of like a danger that we face. Because, like I was sharing, when I talk to that driver, it's sometimes you could talk to people, you're making all the logic in the world. You know that the creator is giving you he's giving you such a strong word. And it's an amazing thing how a child will believe before an adult. It's like you hit an adult with this type of spiritual power, and it just turns off something in their brain. 1 in 44, man. It just turns, whereas they should be able to, because the creator, he deals on all levels: logic, esotericism, history, whatever level you want. Where's your foundation of truth? We can deal with that too. You see? So, brethren, that will be the end of this video on why deception and deceiving is so, I forgot the rest of the title. Why deceiving is evil or wrong or whatever. All right, brethren. Thank you for joining me for the video. That will conclude the reading of the word. So now I'm back in the chat. I can open it up for a few minutes to see if anybody wants to come on and say anything. The name of the video was "Why Deceiving People is Dangerous," and that's I mean, somebody will read that and they'll think, "Oh, I already know that." I know. But when you look at it, man, when you really consider the consequences that the Creator lays out, you know, it ain't no joke. All right, Sharice, I didn't see you in the room, man. I was talking about you. I didn't even see you in the room. All right, Elijah, see you, brother. There you go, Nazarene, with that post. So that means that the video has come to a conclusion. All right, if nobody, I got the link in the room. I'm gonna hang out for like a minute. If anybody wants to come on and say anything, feel free. You're welcome. So overall, it's like to keep in mind, that that deception is out there, like talking to people. That's why I like to share with people or the things I go through, or if I get in a conversation, so I can come back and share it with y'all to let you know this is the reality, to remind you we live we're in a darkened period where people, it's a shame, they just don't learn. They're not going to learn until it's too late what it means to attain to the voice of the Creator, and wonder why. I know without a shadow of a doubt that the Creator is he's going to allow people to suffer regret. I'm positive, man. People are going to be made to suffer regret. I hate to say it. So shoot, man, that's the best I can do for right now. Again, we next week in the Beast Kingdom is going to be a big week. The election, astrologers that I have been listening to have said that Kamala Harris should win, and they base it off of the planets and their charts, and they see some different realities that could take place. And the guy that Trump has as his vice president is a bigger Zionist than Trump is. So Trump can get knocked off and that vice president installed, so that he begins to benefit Israel even more than anybody else would. They install the people who run for our offices, and they choose and elect people who will do their foreign policy will be the most favorable. Now, I'm just mentioning this because something's got to give. Brethren, something has got to give. We see the cosmological event of Pluto going into Aquarius on November 19th. And from what I could see, the best that I could see is it will leave Capricorn. Now, that's a sign of banking and institutions and power and authority. It's also the sign of the elite. And it seems the Creator is saying that he is going to tear down that institution and bring in the brotherhood of man. From the best that I could see, it seems like that's what the signal that is ahead of us, starting November 19th, when Pluto goes back into Aquarius to stay for the next so many years. So we're in a situation. I hope you brethren are really, really redeeming the time. One good thing I read that I could share that I think it makes for a good practice is the OAHSPE says in the morning. I know you brother know this. It says in the morning, ask for wisdom and instruction. And then at nighttime, critique yourself, how you were in the will or out of the will. Not so that you condemn yourself. You're not supposed to be walking around, damning yourself to hell. You know what I'm saying? But the Creator says that he is like, it's like he rooting for us to be our highest light, to be our highest light. We don't understand that. We know we're in the womb. We know we're in the womb, in the sense that, and that explains a lot of mysteries. If I may digress for 1 second, it makes me wonder, man. there are people in this reality, it seems like they've had an unfair benefit, in life. And it's like, maybe, I don't know how to even explain what it is I'm thinking, but it seems like maybe they prepared themselves in the womb somehow to excel in this life, and they do. And for us, we realize we're in the world, and the Creator saying you're in the womb, and this is how you prepare yourself for when you're born in spirit. And it's like faith is, they attain to His voice, and they practice, and they uh, elevate. And it's kind of like, you know, you wake up and you're a king, you know, and you don't know why, you know, not so that we can be served, but so that we can serve others. Will of the Creator is that you serve, that it's like He gives us knowing that we're going to give to everybody else. It's like we administrate. He gives to us knowing we're going to turn around and we're going to bless our brethren with it. It's like He say He trusts His sons and daughters. Same principle in the world. The rich people of the world, they turn around, they give to their own, not to the neighbors, to their own. Same way it seems in the kingdom. The Creator says, bring me my sons and daughters, my brides and bridegrooms, give them this galaxy, like Dave said, you give them that, because I know they're going to do what's right for everybody. So that's the big picture right there. That's all it is, That's all it is, man. Not to make it marginalize the Creator, but to put it in a nutshell. All right. Well, shoot, man. That's the best I could do. Nobody wants to come on and, uh, that's good enough for me then. I want to give thanks to the Creator for this opportunity, for also, man, taking, I feel like I'm on the downside of that cold. Man, I hope you brethren avoid that. Man, that time of the season, your head full all stuffy, you constantly sneezing, coughing, man, gets worse, I think, as you get older, but it is what it is. Thank you, Creator, for this opportunity, and the brethren coming in, checking in, and the wisdom that you share. Pray that covers wisdom, knowledge, endurance, keep us in the way, prepare us for what's coming, whatever it is, that we redeem the time, be thankful for one another. Creator, hope that, or not hope, pray that we glorify you in all things. So, brethren, again, thank you for joining me. Tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel. And until I see you again on video, peace be unto you. Shalom.